The Nvarian Empire had swept across the stars for centuries, their conquests relentless and their power unmatched. 50 star systems had already fallen, each new world assimilated into the Hive's ever-growing dominion. Their ships were vast, bristling with weapons capable of leveling entire continents, and their soldiers, cold, tireless, and utterly without fear, marched in perfect, merciless unity. On the command deck of the Imperial dreadnought Inevitable, Admiral Zelon watched the planet below with a detached satisfaction. Another world, Tarius IV, was resisting. But resistance was a formality. It would fall as all the others had. "Status report," Zelon rasped, his voice as dry as old leaves. Sub-Commander Vextra approached, her exoskeleton clicking. "Orbital defenses at 20%. First wave breached the atmosphere. Minimal resistance on the ground. How long until full surrender? 3 hours, Admiral. Perhaps 4. Acceptable. Prepare the assimilation protocols." This was the Nvarian way. Attack, overwhelm, assimilate. The survivors became workers, the planet another resource for the Hive. None had ever turned back the Nvarian fleet. But then a sensor operator called out, "Admiral, we are detecting a transmission from the far side of the system." Zelon turned, compound eyes narrowing. "A distress call?" "No, Admiral. A warning. Not from the Terrian. The language is unknown." "Show me." On the main screen, a small ship streaked away from the system, sleek and functional, nothing wasted. The translation appeared. "Attention, unknown hostile forces. This is Scout Vessel Aurora from the United Earth Alliance. We have witnessed your unprovoked attack on the Terrian people. The UEA does not tolerate aggression against peaceful civilizations. You have been warned." Zelon's mouthparts twitched in amusement. "Scan that vessel." Vextra's claws danced over her console. "Small scout ship, minimal weapons, fast engines, 4 life forms aboard." "Destroy it. It has already jumped to faster than light speed, Admiral." Zelon dismissed the matter with a wave. "Of no consequence. Another species that will soon learn its place in our empire. Continue the invasion." Tarius IV fell in just over 3 hours, another world added. The Nvarians plotted their next 10 conquests. Nothing, it seemed, could stand in their way. 2 weeks later, at the edge of known space, Lieutenant Frank Mason plotted a course back to Earth. The Aurora had pushed its engines to the limit. The crew was tense, haunted by what they'd witnessed. Captain Lisa Reeves, eyes shadowed by exhaustion, watched the stars slip by. "I still can't believe what we saw," said Jeff Folland, the comms officer. 6 billion people just gone." Lisa's jaw tightened. "And they've done it 50 times before. Earth needs to know." Science officer Diane Chen looked up. "The Terrian called them the Nvarians. Hive species, highly organized. They don't negotiate. They don't accept surrender." "Earth needs to see this," Lisa said. "The Security Council must know what's coming." When Aurora dropped out of FTL near the Earth's defense perimeter, they were immediately hailed. "Scout Vessel Aurora, you are 3 weeks early from your exploration mission. Explain." "This is Captain Lisa Reeves, authorization code Sierra 97 Delta. We have witnessed an aggressive alien species conquering the Terrian system, requesting emergency meeting with the Security Council." After a tense pause, they were cleared for direct approach. Admiral Joe Garcia, a veteran of the Proxima Centauri conflict, watched the Aurora's recordings with growing dread. "How many ships in their fleet?" At least 200, sir. Their main dreadnought is nearly the size of our largest station." Garcia studied the tactical display. "Their technology is advanced. Those energy weapons, I've never seen anything like them." Diane stepped forward. Based on their expansion, they'll reach human space within 6 months. Garcia straightened. The Council needs to see this, immediately. The Security Council, 12 representatives from Earth's unified governments, watched in stunned silence as Nvarians dismantled the Terrian defenses. No mercy, said Councillor Martinez. No interest in diplomacy. They may not even understand negotiation, added Councillor Thompson. Hive mentality. We need to mobilize the fleet, Garcia said. Emergency footing. All ships under construction must be expedited. You're talking about war, said Councillor Foster. I'm talking about survival. The Nvarians have never been stopped. We need to be the first. The council voted unanimously. Within days, humanity began the largest military build-up in its history. Shipyards across the solar system worked around the clock. Reserve officers were called up. On the bridge of the newly commissioned warship USS Defender, Commander Eric Wells reviewed his orders. The Defender was Earth's most advanced vessel, packed with experimental weapons and defenses. Lieutenant Amber Garrett, the new tactical officer, reported for duty. Graduated top of my class, sir. Good, Eric nodded. We'll need the best. We ship out tomorrow for the forward defense line at Proxima Centauri. Amber studied her briefing. Do you think we can stop them, sir? The Nvarians? Eric looked out at the stars. They've never faced humans before, Lieutenant. We'll show them why that was their mistake. 3 months passed. The human fleet grew stronger. New ships joined the defense line. Weapons were tested, plans were made. Everyone worked without rest. Commander Wells and his crew trained relentlessly. The Nvarians conquered 2 more systems. They were coming. Then, new orders arrived. We're to move beyond Proxima into the Yao Arcturus system, Amber explained. Intelligence believes the Nvarians will pass through there next. Set up early warning beacons. Other intelligence. Do not engage unless absolutely necessary. The Defender dropped out of FTL at the edge of Arcturus. 2 habitable planets, both with small colonies, neither with real defenses. Stealth systems engaged, announced engineer Brad Miller. For 3 days, the Defender waited, hidden among the asteroids. On the 4th day, alarm sounded. Multiple ships dropping out of FTL, Amber reported. On screen, 20 large, insect-like ships appeared, followed by a dreadnought, twice the size of any human vessel. That's the inevitable, Eric said quietly. The Nvarian fleet moved toward the inner planets. The first colony's defenses were swept aside. The crew watched in silence as the Nvarians began their attack. Their ground troops move like insects, noted Security Chief Paul Evans. No concern for casualties. They're a hive, Amber said. Each soldier is just a part of the whole. Then Eric noticed something. Zoom in on their lead destroyer. The ship was breaking formation, moving toward the outer system. They've detected something, Eric realized. Amber, full scan of Sector 7. There's a small transport trying to escape. Refugees from the colony. The Nvarian destroyer accelerated toward the transport. Eric stood. Their orders were clear. Do not engage. But 20 families were on that ship. Bring weapons online. Plot an intercept course. Commander, our orders, Brad began. I know our orders. But we're not going to hide while they murder innocent people. Helm, full speed. The Defender surged from its hiding place, targeting the destroyer. Fire when ready. The main guns struck the alien ship, disabling its weapons. Open a channel to the transport. This is Commander Eric Wells of the Earth Vessel Defender. We're here to help. Prepare for emergency docking. The Nvarian destroyer turned to engage, but the Defender dodged its fire, closing the distance to the transport. Begin evacuation, Eric ordered. On the main screen, several Nvarian ships broke off, turning toward the Defender. How long until the transport is evacuated? 4 minutes at current rate. We don't have 4 minutes, Amber warned. 3 Nvarian vessels approaching fast. Once the last civilian is aboard, set course for Earth. Maximum speed. The Defender escaped, the rescued families safe. For the first time in 3 centuries, the Nvarians had been resisted. Admiral Zalon watched the recording in silence. A single human ship damaged one of ours and escaped with the transport. This has never happened before. Alter our course, he ordered. We will proceed directly to their home system. I want to know more about these humans. The Defender raced back to Earth, battered but triumphant. Admiral Garcia's face appeared on the screen. Your actions were in direct violation of orders, Commander. But the data you gathered is invaluable, and the civilians you rescued are alive because of your decision. Our sensors have detected a change in the Nvarian fleet's movement. They're heading directly for the Sol system. How long until they reach us? 3 weeks. We need more time. Your orders are to slow them down by any means necessary. Eric nodded. We'll do whatever it takes, Admiral. 3 more warships joined the Defender at Alpha Centauri. The Valiant, the Dauntless, and the Resolute. The 4 commanders met to plan. You're the only one who's faced these Nvarians and lived, Captain Rodriguez of the Valiant said. They move with perfect coordination, but that's a weakness. They don't handle unpredictability well. We fight unpredictably, hit and run, disrupt their formation, force them to regroup. The plan was set. They hid in the asteroid field, waiting. When the Nvarian fleet entered, the Valiant struck first, then the Defender, then the Dauntless and Resolute from different angles. The Nvarian formation broke as they struggled to respond. The humans darted between asteroids, striking and vanishing. 17 Nvarian ships were destroyed or disabled, 31 more damaged. But the cost was high. The Valiant was badly hurt. The Dauntless and Resolute took damage. The Defender's shields were failing. Yet the Nvarian advance was halted for the first time. How long until they figure out our tactics? Captain Wilson asked. Hours, maybe a day, Rodriguez replied. The Valiant and Resolute withdrew, the Defender and Dauntless remaining behind to continue the fight. The Nvarians adapted, sending escorts ahead to prevent ambushes. The Defender was running out of ammunition, its engines failing, but Eric refused to give up. We'll draw them away from the Dauntless. Prepare the ship for combat. The Defender raced toward a gas giant, Nvarian ships in pursuit. Divert all power to engines and forward shields. Amber, prepare to fire the new targeting program at my command. The Defender plunged into the gas giant's atmosphere, firing from the clouds. Missiles struck 3 Nvarian vessels, including their command ship. For the first time, Admiral Zalon felt uncertainty. The Defender, battered and failing, emerged from the clouds, only to see hundreds of new ships arriving. For a moment, Eric feared more Nvarians. But then Kelly shouted, "Sir, those are Earth ships. The defense fleet is here." Admiral Garcia's face appeared. Your delaying action worked, Commander. You gave us the time we needed. Earth's full fleet is assembled and ready for battle. As rescue ships approached, Eric looked at his exhausted crew. They had accomplished the impossible. For 3 centuries, the Nvarians had conquered without challenge. Now, a single human warship had changed everything. The Battle of Alpha Centauri would be remembered as the first major conflict between humanity and the Nvarian Empire. But the true turning point had come earlier, when a lone ship named Defender proved that even the mightiest empire could be challenged by those with the courage to stand against it.